everyone. This is Super Review's very first episode. I'm your host, Justin, and today I'll be doing a review for Need for Speed Shift. We're going to be looking at the graphics, sound, story mode, gameplay, and replayability. So Need for Speed Shift came out September 14th on the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, PlayStation Portable, and PC. John will be doing the video mashup as I give the review for this title. So, does EA release a racer that makes Gran Turismo and Forza take notes? Or do they release a steaming pile riddled with bugs and glitches? Let's find out. Alright, so first let's take a look at the graphics. Obviously this is an EA title, and as such, one thing that EA continually excels at is making games with excellent graphics. The car models are represented very well, however if you want photorealism then go with Gran Turismo. The tracks are also well done, and the libraries are very nice too. Although when you're creating and applying your own custom libraries, it can be very frustrating and time consuming due to the lag through the menus, unlike in Forza 2. Also, I did notice some very slight frame rate drops in this game, but they were very few in number and they didn't last that long. The inside cockpit view is phenomenal. EA does a superb job in recreating the interior and the feeling of racing in a high-powered car. Getting hit and crashing or just driving insanely fast will cause the screen to get blurry and will disorient you, just like in real life. Have you ever crashed a Porsche doing 130? One thing to note is that it's very hard to see what lap you're on, the map, or your lap time if you're not inside the cockpit view. So with that said, the graphics, we're going to give a 17 out of 20. Alright, next up, let's take a look at the sound. The sound in Need for Speed Shift is excellent. From the revving of the car's engines to the whining of turbos, they all sound lifelike, and when you're inside the cockpit view, you'll even hear the exhaust backfire, which adds even more to the immersion and realism of this game. The soundtrack is not bad, however, when you start the game, EA has purposely muted the sound within the races, which is great because the cars sound so excellent, you don't want to be listening to music. But you can go through the menus and turn the music on to play during the races, however I would not do that. So with that said, the sound gets an 18 out of 20. As far as the story mode goes, there's really no story in Need for Speed Shift. You will notice when you start races, there is a British guy telling you that you need to place or do your best. He also tells you to get ready and go, but that's really about it. So, you know, you don't really need a reason or a story to race, you just do it because it's fun. So as far as the story mode is concerned, we're not going to judge that, it's just going to be not applicable out of not applicable. Alright, so let's take a look at the most important part in Need for Speed Shift, and that is the gameplay. As you start the game, you'll be treated to test driving a BMW E92. After doing a lap or two, the game will make some recommended settings for you, but you can always change those. And then basically you're off to race in various events and series that range from races, drift competitions, time attacks, duels, which are one-on-one races where you can race with either car, and manufacturing events where you're given a car to race with. The cars don't quite handle like their real-life counterparts. The weight and the maneuverability, the handling is definitely off, especially in the beginning of the game with slightly modded or stock cars. Don't do like I did and pick a real-world drive car as your starter. For some reason, it is impossible to keep it on the road. I don't know why EA made it so that 160 horsepower car is a whole lot more impossible to control than a 400 plus horsepower car. After you get into the higher tier cars though, or after you start modding your cars to a higher extent, you will notice that the handling gets a whole lot better. So don't get like I did. I got rather annoyed with the game after about 2 hours, but just stick with it and it'll get a lot better. The drifting in this game is like the other drift events in the other Need for Speed games. Basically, EA holds your hand and makes it really easy to drift, which for me is a complete pain. I'd rather be given no help and drift on my own. That way it adds to the realism. However, EA, again, they apparently don't want to do that, or they have yet to do that. So the drifting in this game is very unrealistic. It's definitely arcadey-like. It seems like your car is outfitted with the slickest and baldest tires ever conceived. One thing I did really like about this game is that it's very easy to make money. Even doing a quick race outside of the career mode will net you some money and driver points. You earn driver points by either driving aggressively or with precision, which will in turn allow you to unlock more cars, races, upgrades, etc. The AI in this game is very good. From what I've experienced, I would say it's probably better than Forza 2 or Gran Turismo 5 Prologue. You'll notice that the AI will hit you, they will try to spin you out, they'll block you if you try to pass. They're very aggressive, and that adds the more to the realism. One thing you'll also notice that it won't just be you causing wrecks. You'll even see the AI hit someone else, and you'll see 2 or 3 cars spin off, flip, whatever. And that's just really cool to see outside of your view or something as you drive past it. Also, I noticed that there, for once, it doesn't seem like there's a catch-up mode in this game. I've actually been able to lap people, and myself and other AI opponents have lapped other AI opponents. So you're not always going to blow the computer away, but you can definitely do it in some events. Shift is supposed to be a mixture of sim and arcade style racing, so it's sometimes hard to differentiate the two. What I mean by this is that running into the sand or hitting road cones will totally mess your car up. The physics play no part whatsoever in these scenarios for most of the time. You'll notice that when you're running over the sand for a long period of time, your car will actually end up bouncing like a basketball. And when you hit certain spots of the track, usually like road cones set up in the apex of a corner, if you hit those, your car will sometimes come to a complete dead stop. So obviously this is entirely not realistic. And another thing to point out is that in the one-on-one races, or the duel mode, there are a few matches that are completely glitched, and this has been confirmed by various other people. The 2 races in particular I'm talking about are the Ford GT40 and the Viper match, and the Corvette and Porsche matches. Basically, it doesn't matter which car you pick, the computer, the AI, is going to blow way ahead of you, and it really doesn't matter what you do, you're not going to catch up, much less pass them. EA has said that they're looking into this though, so hopefully they'll put a patch out. But for the time being, the gameplay gets a 13 out of 20.